Greetings! Here's a brief video that will help you access muscles behind the shoulders, like the shoulder blade area, rhomboid area, and even in the upper traps, mid traps, maybe even lower traps, depending on how tight and connected your body is. It's hard to get into the back there to stretch, right? So I'm going to give you a few versions going anywhere from for people that are really jacked up, that need something smaller in the range of motion, all the way up to people that are pretty mobile and still need to stretch back there. First thing we're going to do is what I call the forklift. Now you can do this seated. I'm offering it lying down because sometimes we just don't want to be upright. But you can certainly do this seated. So you take your arms up, like you're a mummy cursing the ceiling, and we'll cross the left arm over the body and then hook the right inner elbow either across the forearm. Now just remember, if you're hooking on the forearm, the elbow gets a little bit more stress. If you're able to cross closer, that's fine too, but not everybody can do that. Some people have fleshy, muscly arms or, a lot of flesh in the chest. So let's do a little bit of both. Let's pull from closer to the wrist. Try to keep, in this case, the left arm really, really lax. So again, we're trying to mimic a bit of Thai massage here, and you're getting the left shoulder to totally release. So if I were to loosen this right arm real quick, the arm would just sort of go back like that. So let's do the other side. You can obviously stay longer. I'm trying to make this quick. You guys can always press the pause button or go back as many times as you want, okay? So we're going to hook it closer to the wrist. That's probably more accessible. Some people can't hook even, so they'll take the hand and pull. And I'm going to come up closer. Another thing you can do is rock a little bit back and forth. So you can pull harder and then release. The idea is to keep, in this case, the right arm as the slave to the master left arm. So if you do go to release it, the arm just sort of snakes across the body. Okay, that's number one. Number two is one of my personal favorites. It's not accessible for all bodies at all times. There may even be some people who it will never be accessible for. That's okay. So we'll take the hand in. So you want to pretend like you just got something like maybe snot on the back of your hand. I hate snot. And we'll do this one at a time. So the legs are out kind of wide. You may even start with them in Baddha Konasana. Take the hand in, like you're trying to wipe it off. You're like, ugh, gross. And if you can get it hooked so you have a little chicken wing, that's great. I have the back of the hand on my ribs. Some people have to go way back. Some people have to go way forward. And then there's a lot of wrist stretching here, which may or may not feel great. So then we hook if we can. If we can't hook, we just kind of do this and see how it feels. But if you can hook the inner knee section on the outer arm section, and you sort of create a thigh master effect, you can get a little movement. And again, we're going back and forth, we're rocking, we're trying to induce a more relaxed response. We can get the muscle spindles to be like, oh yeah, this is cool, we're good. We don't need to grip to protect something. At some point, you can come to your full range of motion and then hang back like a notch or two. So don't go all spinal tap on us and take it to 11 and then think, oh, this is a great stretch. Take it back, dial it to about 7, 8, or 9, and then hang there. And then breathe, relax. Try not to slouch forward with the other side if you can. And then you can switch to the other side, right? So don't be surprised if both sides are drastically different. It's okay. You can always go back to the forklift stretch, doing it upright. Otherwise, wipe that nasty stuff off the back of your hand. Try to make a wing. If the wing doesn't happen in the inside of the leg, just kind of take it back and forth, and then we'll thigh master on the other side. The whole time you're breathing, if you can, through your nose as much as you can. The nose offers a lot more benefits. The mouth tends to not offer a lot of benefits. I think it was the quote, I think it was from Iyengar, was the mouth is for eating and the nose is for breathing, which is pretty much mostly true. But obviously I'm talking to you, so if you're a teacher of any kind or you do any speaking, you're pretty much conditioned to breathe through your mouth during your lectures. So try to be mindful of that. Try to breathe through your nose as much as you can. Pause when you're ready. And then if you want to, you could do the grand poobah version of this, which is to take both wings in. This looks pretty awkward. Feels pretty awkward. And this might be too much. And if so, just back right out of it. Don't try to grit. If you can't talk and breathe like I am right now, super relaxed and chill, then all you're doing is creating a contraction response in the muscles, a safety response, and you're not going to gain the ability to retrain your muscles for relaxation. Okay, so that's really important. So that gritting against the stretch is doing nothing. It's not proving anything either, other than you have a high tolerance for masochism. Okay, so from there, we'll take the next one, and this one is for people who have more range of motion naturally, and those people who have a ton of range of motion in the back of the shoulders where there's a winged scapula, this may or may not be medicinal for you. So if you take a bolster and you crisscross the arms, I've got the left arm in front. Now the bolster is optional and it's much less intense, okay? Otherwise, no bolster. Left arm in front. And then you can switch sides, of course. Now at some point, you've got a lot of flesh to work with in the front, as I do. You have to manage that. You have to check and see, make sure, is it tender or sensitive, or is it claustrophobic feeling? In which case, here's the best stretch. Here we go, the grand finale. So you're going to come to a Sphynx-like position, and you'll thread the right arm through, and the left arm can reach forward. So what I like to do is keep the shoulder as far from my jawline as possible, but you might need it to be close for now. If your head needs to relax, please put a pillow or a block here. So here I am, I'm lying on my arm, essentially. Here, I'll give you a little... I can see better. Okay. And this is probably enough for a good amount of people. However, if you're fairly mobile, long-time yogi, or just you naturally have the motion, the right knee is going to creep up. You can't see it, but it's creeping up, almost like I'm making a 90-degree angle. It's not almost like I'm making pretty close to a 90-degree angle in my hip and my knee. So it's like a warrior two type of leg position. And what that does is it pitches my weight more to the left and makes the stretch more intense. You can stay here as long as you can stand. Again, dial it down from 11. Don't be in a state of alarm or your body reaps no benefits. Okay, and then we'll do from the other side. You'll see the leg now on this side. Sphynx might be a nice way to sort of, cleanse the body from its asymmetricalness that it just participated in. Here's the position. I'm getting a little bit more on top of the arm, and then here's the leg. Now I may not take the leg up as quickly as I just did. It's for the sake of brevity. You may take time. And then you could just pause here, and then just chill out. I would say if each pose could be held for 3 minutes, that would be great. But again, as I said before, if it's too much and you've got a lot of gripping going on in the body, just take it back a minute, maybe relax, and come back. Okay, those are 3 of my favorite stretches for the backs of the arms and shoulders. I have more active ones, which I will show you in another video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, ask questions if you want to. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.